17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
Plan on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Welcome to this episode of Biker Wars with Bill Staxx. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this show. This is an insane story, and it's kind of, it's just going to have a ripple effect for things. And I think it's a very bad look for motorcycle clubs, especially the Hells Angels. It's not looking good. So if you guys don't know, before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend. We got a lot of exclusive content over here, and we're going to be bringing it to you. So, today's story is about the Hells Angel by the name of Maurice Lazar. So this guy is from, I believe it's Romania. Founder of the Romanian chapter of the Hells Angels was sentenced for racketeering, drug trafficking scheme that including attempted to hire assassins to murder U.S. law enforcement and rival gang members. So this is really not looking good for these guys at all. It's So I'm going to play a video, and we're going to get into this story. So this is a video of him getting let out of the car. So, a foreign national who founded the Romanian chapter of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang was sentenced January 15th to 25 years in federal prison for his role in a transnational racketeering and drug trafficking scheme that including attempts to hire assassins to murder U.S. law enforcement and rival gang members. The organized crime drug enforcement task force investigation that led to the conviction and sentence was conducted by Homeland Security. The investigation was in Houston. The Drug Enforcement Agency, the U.S. Marshal Service, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, and the International Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigations. Maurice Lazar, 51, Romanian national, was sentenced in U.S. District Court of Eastern District of Texas to 300 months in federal prison for conspiracy to commit racketeering, conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Lazar was convicted November 17, 2023 by a federal grand jury in Beaumont, seeking to sow anarchy and chaos in the United States to advance the transnational racketeering and drug trafficking scheme. The individuals and his fellow gang members attempted to place a target on the backs of the brave men and women of uniform in our country who fearlessly step forward to serve and protect our communities. Houston Special Agent in Charge, Chad Plants, working in conjunction with our law enforcement partners, both here and abroad, were able to infiltrate and dismantle their scheme. So this is a video right here of them raiding the clubhouse in Romania. It says they are working in conjunction with law enforcement there to infiltrate and dismantle their scheme and extradite one of the ringleaders to the U.S. to face justice. According to court documents, the evidence presented at trial, Lazar, who was the founding member of the local chapter of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club and transnational outlaw motorcycle gang that founded in the United States, is now active on 6 continents through his relationship with fellow Hells Angels members in New Zealand. Lazar joined a conspiracy to purchase more than 400 kilograms of cocaine from a person in the United States who the conspiracies believe was a powerful drug trafficker, but who was actually an undercover agent. So they duped him, basically. Insane. Hold on. So it was an undercover agent. Part of the negotiations were for cocaine purchase. Lazar also solicited undercover agents to kill 2 members of a rival motorcycle club in Romania and offered to supply the undercover officers with rifles, grenades, and armored vehicles and other military-grade equipment that Lazar understood would be used against police officers in the United States. Members of the conspiracy sent nearly $1 million to the United States via bank wire transfers and Bitcoin transfers as payments for the drugs and the murders. There's a co-defendants, too, that are still on the run. Murray Michael Matthew and Mark Patrick Johnson remain fugitives. I'll show you guys a picture of them. So these are the guys that are still on the run. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christopher Rapp of Eastern District of Texas, formerly the Criminal Division, Violent Crime and Racketeering Section, is currently for the U.S. Attorney's District of Columbia. Attorneys prosecuted the case. They're working with partners in Romania to secure arrests and extradition. So this is a major, major blow to the motorcycle club community as a whole. Because, I mean, once they get some of these people on conspiracies, it's like a domino effect that it's going to have. Like, this is not a good thing for anybody involved. And there's a couple reports that he was sentenced to 300 years, but I'm pretty sure that was a misprint. He was sentenced to 300 months. And they extradited him, which is pretty insane. It shows that they have a long reach. Doesn't matter where in the country you are, they will come and get you and bring you to justice. But these guys, I mean, it's not looking good. But it's a whole different breed out there. I think these are support clubs of the Hells Angels out in Romania. But it's really not good, because once they start hitting them with conspiracy and all this, there is no, they're like putting it together as like a really bad thing. It's definitely not a good look. Now this is another article. Maris Lazar, leader of the Romanian motorcycle club, the Hells Angels branch, wanted to buy high-risk drugs to sell in the U.S., Romania, and sell armor cars, AK-47 weapons, and M26 grenades, pistols, and bulletproof vests produced in Serbia. He also wanted to kill 2 rivals. Maris Lazar negotiated with 2 New Zealanders but also with other members of the Hells Angels about a transaction of 400 kilograms of cocaine destined for the U.S. market, but also 10 kilograms of cocaine he wanted to sell in Romania. At the time, he wanted to start supplying armored cars, assault weapons, from AK-47s to M26 grenades, pistols, rifles, bulletproof vests, produced in an arms factory in Serbia. The first information about the group led by Maris Lazar was provided to the Romanian authorities by the U.S. Justice Department based on information from Americans. Between July and November of 2020, police officers and anti-drug service for combating organized crime started the first investigations. At the beginning of the month, Bucharest Court of Appeal granted a request for American authorities to extradite Lazar, one of the local leaders of the Hells Angels, to the United States. The motivation for the extradition decision obtained in a spectacular show a Hells Angels organization involved in mafia-type activities worldwide for the purpose of perpetrating the conspiracy as part of and for the purpose of achieving its purpose. The defendants and others committed various concrete acts in Eastern District in the state of Texas and elsewhere. The file reads, according to sources, when the moment of the negotiations are described. On or about July 21st, 2020, New Zealander Michael Matthew Murray and Patrick Johnson Mark met for dinner in Bucharest, Romania, and discussed the purchase of the cocaine. So they met to discuss the purchase of the cocaine, including one using the city of Beaumont, Texas, as a base for receiving payments, producing an industrial equipment in which to hide the drugs, and exporting the drugs from the United States, possible methods for transferring funds to avoid detection by law enforcement. And 3, their agreement to increase the purchase of 200 kilograms by another 200 kilograms, consignment for a total of 400 kilograms of cocaine. Around July 22nd, 2020, Matthews and Lazar, leader of the Hells Angels branch in Romania, asked a person who the two knew were using the city of Beaumont, Texas as a base for operations to arrange a murder of 3 men in Romania, 2 whom were rival drug dealers and members of a rival motorcycle club. Around July 29, 2020, Matthews agreed to send the money to Beaumont, Texas person as a payment for the assassination, describing the murder as unnecessary. Around August 3rd, 2020, Matthews discussed the importance and possible methods of laundering the proceeds from the sale of the shipment of 400 kilograms of cocaine. Around August 5th, 2020, Matthews told the Texas person that the murder in Romania would not affect the management of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club in the United States, explaining that the victim spoke out and is a bad comrade, so he needed to disappear. On or about August 24, 2020, a member of the conspiracy made 3 transactions that resulted in the deposit totaling $629,182 into a bank account in a bank located in the state of Texas, in which to be withdrawn in Beaumont, Texas. Of that amount, Matthews allocated $10,000 as payment for a planned murder of victim 1. The rest as a partial payment for the planned shipment of the 400 kilograms of cocaine. On or about August 27th, and 28, 2020, Lazar negotiated the purchase of weapons, including grenade launchers and AK-47 style rifle automatic weapons, to be delivered to the United States. So this is just an insane story. Like, it doesn't get any more crazier than this. All right, let me see if there's more. On or about August 21st, he provided 2 folders of documents containing the identity and information of photographs of victim 1 and victim 2. And the intent of information would be translated to Beaumont, Texas for use by the hitman, who will locate victim 1 and kill victim 2. On or about August 21st, 2020, explained that victim 2 was targeted for assassination in part due to victims 2 past cooperation with law enforcement officers. On or about 21st of August 2020, Matthews requested bank account information in order to send the payment plan for shipment of cocaine. On or about August 24, 2020, member of the conspiracy made 3 transactions resulting in the deposit into the bank account. Matthews allocated, all right, on the 13th of September, submitted additional identification details with several vehicles to be used as collateral for the purchase plan for the 10 kilograms of cocaine. Now, what I'm reading here is part of the statements from these people that cooperated against them. It's insane. So they had people in the U.S. cooperating against them already. Like, so there was no, they were like negotiating with people that were cooperating against them. On September 16, 2020, the cooperator sent email to person 1 in the town, Tyler, Texas, in which discussed the Hells Angels organization, provided new information about his intent to purchase weapons, and sent photos of the U.S. bill in which he intended to pay and planned to purchase 10 kilos of cocaine. On the 17th, he requested additional 10 kilos to be made available to him in a total of 20 kilos. Vouched for him, arms dealer, as godfather, prospective candidate of the Hells Angels motorcycle group, and discussed how the murder of victim 1 would benefit the Hells Angels drug trafficking activities in Romania by eliminating a competitor. On September 21st, 2020, they offered help armored vehicles for use in Beaumont, Texas. On the 26th of September, they used the connections with the Hells Angels to obtain a lawyer to represent his arms dealer, who was detained in Germany while in transit to Romania. On the 26th of September, submitted photos of the armed vehicles and body protection offered for sale in exchange for cocaine. On the 27th, Johnson discussed to expect purchase of 400 kilograms of cocaine and asked for a pistol. Around September 28, 2020, made available details, the price of AK-47s, M26 grenade, and pistols and rifles in various armored vehicles. On September 28th, Matthews admitted to violently beating a victim in retaliation for the victims having previously poured him testifying against Matthews. On October 9, 2020, negotiated for the purchase of grenades, AK-47 weapons, as well as exchange for cocaine and cash for the armored vehicles. On October 12, 2020, the Hells Angels member in Romania obtained a lawyer to intervene with law enforcement officers who were conducting a search of the prospective candidate. On the 14th of October, Johnson discussed the transfer of funds as part of a payment plan to purchase 400 kilograms of cocaine. So they have these guys on wiretaps talking about the club and how it would benefit the club. So this is really, it's not good for anyone involved. Hey, Lindsay, how are you? OB, Joe, what's going on? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So this is major news. Like, to have this big of a blow, it's terrible, you know? Now, this is a video from when they raided the clubhouse. They got a bunch of money. This is the SWAT team going into the clubhouse. And he's got 25 years, and them other two people are on the run right now. I mean, it just adds to the negative press that these motorcycle clubs get. But just remember, I'm here to let you know that they're all not criminals. There are a lot of people out there that are in these clubs that have nothing to do with criminal activity. They just ride motorcycles. They're part of a club, and it shouldn't broadcast a dark shadow on all people involved. You know what I'm saying? Even though the police want people to think that, but it's just not the case. But there's tons of new content on the way. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. Tonight, 9 o'clock, you don't want to miss it.
I'm Brandon, man, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
San Antonio lives in the baddest chapter in the nation.
You don't want to miss that interview tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And then at 10 o'clock, there's another John Palermo dropping. And I'm going to be dropping so much content. It's going to be insane. I got a lot more interviews coming. I got a new one with Breeze that's going to be dropping very soon. So stay tuned. The one with Brandon is a 7-part series. You guys don't want to miss it tonight at 9 p.m. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.